The year was 2149, and Earth wasn't supposed to be gone. One moment, it was comfortably revolving in its cosmic dance among the stars, and the next vanished, as though plucked from existence. 70 million people drifted helplessly aboard humanity's orbital space stations, staring in stunned silence at the void where their home used to be. With no gravity, no atmosphere, and no land to anchor them, civilization clung to fragile life at the edges of survival. In the chaos that followed, 34-year-old astrophysicist Dr. Cale Aris never anticipated being thrust into the center of the mystery. He was quiet, methodical, dedicated to studying the stars and planets from a distance, not saving an entire species from extinction. Yet when Earth's absence caused energy blackouts and sent gravitational anomalies ripping apart the solar system's precarious stability, he was recruited into Project Solace, humanity's last-ditch effort to uncover what had truly happened. "It didn't explode," Cale whispered to himself, staring at the holomap of Earth's coordinates aboard the command vessel Horizon 01. "There's no debris. The gravitational signatures suggest it was extracted." Standing behind him, Admiral Reyna Salas tightened her jaw. "Extracted? Like someone stole an entire planet?" Kyle turned, his gaze heavy with unease. "Or something took it, on purpose." Just as Kyle's words lingered in the air, the Horizon 01 jolted violently. Alarms blared. A technician shouted, "Dimensional rift forming off starboard." Outside the observation deck, space seemed to ripple and bend, as though reality itself were being sucked through a funnel. From the distortion emerged a vast crystalline structure the size of a small moon. Its surface shimmered translucently, seemingly alive with motion. As the crystalline form floated closer, a pulse of energy struck the ship, and suddenly, Kyle wasn't aboard anymore. He opened his eyes to find himself standing in an endless expanse of blinding white light. A voice reverberated around him, not in words, but in feelings, images, and ideas projected directly into his mind. "You are not ready, yet you must be." Kyle struggled to speak, but found himself mute in the presence of the vast intellect communicating with him. It showed him snippets of a horrifying truth. Civilizations across the galaxy had been vanishing for eons, entire planets taken, absorbed by something called the Convergence. Earth was merely its latest victim, and Cale realized that whatever entity addressed him seemed to be battling on humanity's behalf. "We are custodians," the voice explained, flooding Cale's consciousness with overwhelming data. When civilizations reach a critical technological threshold, they attract the Convergence, a force of infinite hunger that consumes potential. You are a precarious species, but your ingenuity outpaces even your destruction. Help us prevent total annihilation. Cale blinked, overwhelmed. If Earth's disappearance was just the beginning, then humanity's orbital fleets, drifting helplessly, would be next. "How do I stop it?" he finally managed to ask aloud. The custodian's response was both simple and impossible. "Trust no one." Your kind harbored its arrival. In a blinding flash, Kyle returned aboard the Horizon 01 moments before shockwaves reverberated from the crystalline entity's sudden disappearance. Admiral Salas rushed to him. "We thought we lost you. Cale, what happened?" But he couldn't answer. Something among humanity, a faction, a traitor, or even an unwitting mistake, had drawn the Convergence to their doorstep. Could he trust Admiral Salas, his crew, anyone at all? Determined, Cale worked day and night, decoding the fragments of alien data the custodian had left in his mind. Looping across the files was a single ominous pattern like a beacon. Coordinates that didn't belong to any known celestial map. Reluctantly, he shared them with Admiral Salas. "What if it's a trap?" she asked, her brow furrowed. "What if it's our only chance?" Kyle countered. The fleet launched toward the unknown sector, only to find hundreds of derelict alien vessels. a graveyard of civilizations long lost to the convergence. Digging deeper, Kyle pieced together a horrifying revelation. Humanity's first contact with alien technology decades ago may have set a timer in motion. Earth's technological leap wasn't natural. It was seeded, carefully cultivated, and monitored. The ship's systems suddenly seized. Kyle realized too late. A saboteur among them had sent a transmission, a beacon, leading the convergence straight to the fleet. As the crystalline maw of the convergence began enveloping the fleet, Kyle made a desperate choice. If his calculations were correct, feeding a reverse pulse signal into their warp drive would create a dimensional tear large enough to sever the convergence from their reality. "We'll all die," Solace warned. Her voice was steady, resigned. Kale nodded. But humanity might survive. He hit the ignition. Light swallowed them. And then, silence. Somewhere far beyond, the Earth reappeared. But Kale's sacrifice left humanity forever changed, reminded that their greatest threat often lurked not in the stars, but deep within themselves.